Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Renew Show. Thank you guys for coming out. This is the second to last show of the third season, so I mean, it's been a wild ride. I think this is like the 54th or 55th episode of the show overall, so yes, I have a lot of experiences with this. So this is going to be another great show because this is somebody who's been in the community for a while. He tried to hide from us from a little while. But he came back, so just happy that he's making videos again and encouraging people. Before we talk about his story, I just want to give my co-host a chance to say hello. So we'll start with you, Rose.
Hello, my friends. I'm so glad that everybody's here today. And yes, let's give this guy a big shout out when you hear him and you see him. Let the community know more about him. He has come a long way, and his journey is amazing. So I can't wait to get him started and start talking and telling us how he did it.
Hi, guys. It is Sarah. It's great to be here with you guys again tonight, and I'm really excited. It's going to be a great show, and I know you're going to get something awesome out of it tonight.
All right. Thank you both. All right, so as you can see, our guest here is Jessie. He goes by Jmacvsg. And if you can't tell by that name, he had weight loss surgery, but there's actually kind of a maybe unique story behind that. But anyway, he's a great guy. He's a great encourager, motivator. When you see his videos, he's always able to focus on the positive. So yeah, I just want to get out his way and give him a chance to tell his story. First, Jessie, just thank you for being on with us and agreeing to do this.
Oh, man, Khalif, it's a pleasure to be here, man. I'm very grateful to be here, and you guys are the best. And, like I told you guys before, if it wasn't for the YouTube community, I wouldn't have had birth safe gastrectomy. That would have never happened. Weight loss surgery it's a big deal, and all of us contribute. It's a big collaboration of why you should or why you shouldn't. Not everybody, should, and many people should as well. It's a very personal decision, but if it wasn't for all of you and in this community, I would have never done it. But I'm very grateful I have. That's for sure.
All right. Well, thank you for that, because I think a lot of people do wonder sometimes, why am I still making videos? They don't realize the impact they have. So just tell us something about yourself. If people are just hearing about you for the first time, what is your story? Yeah.
So I mean, it's I'll tell you this, man. Like I tell everybody else, I'm a pretty deep individual. I'm basically a guy who was over 360 pounds. I think my highest recorded weight was 389. But I had to think about it over a number of different years, actually about 2 or 3 years, if I wanted to have weight loss surgery. It wasn't something I was sure about. Eventually, I made that decision. I wanted to do it. I had to lose 10% of my weight in order to do that. With Kaiser, that's the way they work. And that was a challenge. It was really difficult. And I ended up doing that. I was able to make that happen, and it ended up being a really good thing. I mean, I can tell you, I went from a 48 waist to like a 36 now, 3X shirts to XL, and I'm in the gym regularly. So very, very grateful, man. And if you guys don't know who I tell you, I got nothing but energy right now. I'm kind of holding it in. But I got a lot of energy and a lot of love in my heart for a lot of people. This whole community, man, I can't say enough about it. I mean it.
Well, let it out. Let it out.
Well, okay, I'm going to let it out then. Let me just tell you guys real quick. So, for example, there's a number of different people that are out there. And, you can, I'm not here to give a bunch of shout-outs, okay? I know you can do that. But there's a few people that I do got to just say thank you to. Because it's, like I told Khalif earlier, and the team here, I would have, I mean, so many people are so special to me with this process. I'm kind of a VSG creeper in a sense, where I'll watch some of these videos and I won't really say a whole lot, but I'll learn a little something from them. So, but like VSG Tanya, I mean, dude, come on.
She happens to be in the house, by the way.
Dude, let me just tell you, There is something so special about her to me. I'm very, very grateful for her journey. It's taught me so much. And some of the things that she's going through and she's gone through over the past probably 6 months, I'm working through myself. So, I'm just really proud of her for, her commitment to making things better and, trying to fix all the things in her life. And, I tell you this though, these things bring greatness out of us, and you can see it, man. You can see it in her smile. You can see it. She's happy, and I freaking love that. I love the fact that people work hard and you make the decisions. You fight, man. You'll hear that word a number of times tonight. You fight. BSG Kirk. I mean, come on, Kirk. He's a pioneer, man. The guy. I love that guy.
Another one that's in the house.
Another mad love, Kirk. Thanks for showing up, brother. Now, if you guys don't know Ezekiel Goodwin, this is somebody I've been talking to back and forth via text message, and this dude I hold dearly to my heart. I don't know if you guys watch his videos, but you definitely want to check him out and learn his story. He's open and out there. He's kind of I like to say dirty because it's kind of raw. He's very raw with his emotions and how he feels. And I love that about people in the process. Sarah's the same way. There's so many different people. Sandra Hess is a great example too, because with her videos, just recently I was watching one of her videos, and she was talking about how she watched Pete on the Renew Show, and she's been following both Pete and myself with some of our videos, which, for me, I just put them out there, man. If you want to follow them, that's on you. But she's been watching them, and she said after watching those videos, she went to the gym, and she talked to her trainer, and she wanted to go harder. And I just said to myself, good Lord, man. I mean, that's the goal. For me, that's the goal. Like, I want people. I want to touch people. You know what I mean? I want people to know that we can do this. We got to fight, and with the cravings that we have, the pizzas, even the hurt, which I call wreckage. Those are things that they're deep, and I know a lot of you probably think I'm on here because of the weightlifting and all that stuff. A lot of people know me from that, but for me, this journey, the weightlifting is very little compared to. It's a very little piece of my process, which I love. Don't take me wrong. It's a big piece of it when you look at the big picture, but with where my mind is now. But it definitely is. I think the wreckage that we all have emotionally, in the fight to overcome those issues, which I've seen with Max Benson's another dude, a big dude, over 10,000 views on one of his videos talking about a number of different things. But the guy is just phenomenal. There's so many people out there. Michael, I can go on and on. Rose, you've been in this industry forever, doing this thing. Good Lord. And Khalif, come on, dude. Come on, bro. Thank you. What can I say? Thank you. I've watched a number of people you had on this show, and I've gained so much respect for you and what you're doing. When I went to Kaiser, and they asked me, are you a part of a support group? You know what I told them? I said, yes, I'm on a YouTube support group, and it's called The Renewed Show. Swear to goodness, bro. That's how serious I take it, man. It is deep. I know I'm talking a lot, but I'm just being real.
Well, that's what you're here for. You're here to share. So, okay, is it my turn to give him a question?
Yeah.
So, tell me, how do you feel? I know that your first moment was pretty bad when you finally realized, this has got to change. I want to be here for my kids. I want to be here and give myself to them 100%. I know how that feels. Unfortunately, I was in my 40s when I decided to do something about it. How old are you, if you don't mind?
You want to know something? I'm 40.
Oh, God. Don't tell me. You're a baby.
I'm 40. And I'll tell you what, 40 is good. People lie.
That's okay. You look like you're in your 20s. Good. Okay. So, the question is, how did that feel to finally be the person that maybe was just in your dreams, and now it's come in reality. How does that feel to be you today?
Wow, that is a good question. That's a very hard question to answer in a short amount of time. But let me summarize it by saying this. And I think Tanya probably has a good idea of where I'm coming from with this. Where I am, it changes, I think, every day. The whole process of where I am, I learn something different with that process every day now that I'm changed in the sense of my physical being. I get a lot more attention than I did, that's for sure. I can fit in a lot more clothes, that's for sure. And I can wear something other than black. You know what I mean?
Hence the black you're wearing?
Well, trust me, I have a lot of other clothes. I'm bad with my clothes, but fashion is my forte these days.
Well, good for you.
Yeah, I like to have some fun with it. But you know, nothing's more important. And I'll tell you something. Again, going back to this wreckage piece and answering your question, a piece of it. There was a lot of things that I missed out on. One of the things was, like, for example, not being able to take my child to a field trip because of the humility that I had when it came to taking him and the possibility of him being embarrassed by the other students. It's hard. That's a deep issue, man. And for me, it's you know, it doesn't cut much more deeper than that. That was something that probably one of the biggest pains I think I've ever had along this whole journey. And to be able to talk to my son and to be able to do these things with him and for him to be proud of his father is very, very important to me. I want to motivate him. I'm 40 years old, and I'm telling you, I feel like I'm freaking 30 or 28.
Well, you look like you're 30 or 28.
I appreciate that. I totally appreciate that. But
I think everybody agrees. It's not just me.
Well, you know what? I'll give you all a big hug at the next meet and greet because I totally appreciate that. I really, honestly, I feel fantastic, and you know, when it comes to those changes, like stuff like that with my kids, you know, you can't explain it. I mean, you can't explain how good that feels to be able to go to Macy's and buy whatever the hell I want to buy. To go to Nordstrom's and buy what I want to buy and to fit in anything that I want to fit in. You know, before I had the big and tall. You know, and you know, I know there's a lot of people watching this and thinking, well, shit, that's where I'm at right now. Well, I'm here to tell you, you don't have to be there right now. You know what I mean? You don't have to. You got to fight. You got to pick up the pieces. You got to figure it out. A lot of people, you know, they talk about, you know, again, going back to the weights and all that. You know, listen, everybody has a way of doing something, and everything's debatable. You know, everybody can argue that this is the right way to do it. You know, lift heavy, high rep. You know, use these exercises. You know, when I go to the gym and I see some of these trainers, oh my God, I can't believe what they're doing to these people. You don't have to go through all that. You know what I mean? A big piece of all this is how you're eating. It's a big piece of why you're in the position that you're in. You know, you got to fight when it's time. When it's time to, if you want to lose the weight, and you're thinking to yourself, well, how am I going to do this? You got to put down the pizza, man. You know what I mean? All you pre-oppers who are in a position where, okay, I want to have the surgery, but I got to lose this much weight. You got to learn to say, no, I'm not going to do this. And it's that discipline. That's the part. And I was telling Khalif, like, for me, this whole you know, interview piece, I didn't want it to be about like weightlifting or anything like that. It's not the big piece of all this. The emotional, the discipline, the wreckage, all of it's the bigger package. And I just want to help people. You know, I just want to help people with all of this. So I don't know if that answered your question. I know
it did. I did. And you know what? What's answering the question even more are the people that are here to say hello to you. So let me shout a few out.
Yeah.
Kathy S. says hello.
Hello.
Jennifer says hi, everyone. And Kirk, of course, agrees. You're the man. He says good luck, Jessie. Pete is here. He says hola. And Ezekiel is here. He says you're the man. You're the
Easy.
man. VSG Warrior says hello to us. Let's see. Sherry Ann says hello. VSG Tanya just wants to say thank you for the crazy love, Jessie. Love your hard work, and you're super inspiring to her too. So you see, you're loved. You are very loved, and when you give back, you get back so much.
I appreciate that. And a big hugs to all of them. And by the way, VSG Warrior, brother, I know you were 500. You know, I don't know. Like I tell these guys, kind of the creeper. I don't respond. I don't send a whole lot of messages. But you were over 500 pounds, and I've seen that you're under, and you're down to what 470 something. So you just keep it up, dude. You keep fighting. You keep that positive attitude. You keep this community. You hold this community tight. And you're going to see success, man. You're going to make a lot of people happy, and most importantly, yourself. So keep fighting, bro.
I have a question for you. I know that you had said before you had surgery, you researched it for quite a while. I was wondering, before you started thinking about surgery, did you try and lose weight on your own, you know, before you had the surgery and stuff? Had you tried that?
Yeah, dude, great question. So check this out. All of you, I don't think there's one of you that know this, aside from Cody. I had lost over 100 pounds before in my life when I was younger. So that's a fantastic question. For me, it's keeping it off. And I learned that for me, I was always using the exercise to lose weight. I never really controlled my eating. I would eat healthier food, but I ate a lot of it. So I go to the salad bar and just hammer that shit, and then the next thing you know, I feel like I did good, but then I put on 3 or 4 pounds. You know what I mean? There was no 2 slices of pizza for me. It was either a medium or I didn't eat it because it was no fun otherwise. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, I definitely did. I would run crazy. Check this out. I was 360 something pounds. I actually have it on my GPS. I had I think it's called a Forerunner watch. It's like a GPS watch. 360 plus pounds. And one day I was just like, you know what? I'm going to go for a run. I'm going to see. This is just the way my mind works. I want to see how far I can go. I want to push myself and just kind of see where I'm at. I don't recommend this, by the way. But I ran. It was about 2 miles. And then I just said, you know what? I feel fine. It was a very, very light jog, but I was 360 something.
Yeah.
I didn't stop. My body shut down 11.2 miles. 11.2 miles at 360 pounds. I'm telling you, I can tell you some crazy numbers that I did when I was younger and some of the things that I'm doing now, but not so important. I will say, to answer your question, yes, I definitely did try to lose the weight beforehand, and I felt like the sleeve gave me an opportunity. I wanted that full sensation, and I've learned from it. I've learned, to say no once. Actually, now even if I'm not full, I'll say no when I know it's too much food, because I can still eat like Tanya knows, the protein bars and stuff like that, and I only stick to Quest bars, but actually.
You people in them Quest bars.
That's right.
This is money right here. All you VSGers, listen, this is a plug. I just got to do it, man. This is a staple to my diet. I love these things. People can hate on them. You don't have to agree with me. Like the Hodge twins say. I don't know if you guys follow the Hodge twins. You can do whatever you want to do. That's what they always say. But these things, solid. I won't give you the stats because I don't want to waste the time. You can look it up. But those things are money when it comes to protein and calorie count. That's something it's tough to debate against that because it's a solid bar. Sugar is next to nothing. So yeah.
Well, really quick, Jill says hello. I'm with the band Jill and Carnation 038.
Hello.
All right, Kelly.
All right, so I want to know, because we're actually going to be talking about this next week, but what would you say if you had to point to one thing was your breaking point where you just said, you know what, okay, I have to take care of this. I'm tired of going up and down or kind of meandering through saying I need to lose weight and I'm just going to do it? Like what was the one thing that really hit you?
Yeah, I don't know that there was one thing. I know there was a number of things that would just beat me up. Being in the work environment was one thing where I couldn't wear the suits and look good. But, I'm in a very corporate environment, so I wanted to be able to wear a nice outfit, wear the button up. All I was wearing was black. And I wore the George Foreman khakis. You know what I mean? And that shit hurts, dude. You know what I mean? You shopping at Walmart for that shit. It hurts. You don't want to be that person. Like for me, there's a lot of people. Don't take me wrong. I'm not hating on George. I'm not hating on Walmart. I still shop there. My point is, I want the option. I want the option, and that's not the option I wanted. So I want to be able to shop wherever the hell I want to shop, and that's one piece of it. But the other piece of it is, when you talk about like real hurt, dude, I'm talking about like going to bed every other night, I'd say 5 or 6 nights a week, saying, why the hell did I do that to myself? And continuously doing it, beating yourself up, and then emotionally you're just like, and you as a parent, you want to be able to teach your kids the right thing to do, and you're not showing them a good example, and then that leaves more pain. And you go to work and you deal with that kind of, the work environment, dude. People are judgmental as shit. It's just the way that it is. People, they don't care. They don't. I'll give you an example. I remember one time I was at work, and I had two other partners, and one of the gals, she said, hey, so you used to be like 220 pounds or something like that when you were in high school? I said, yeah. She said, show me a picture of it. The next couple of days, I ended up bringing a picture, and I showed her the picture. I was like, yeah, she's like, wow, look it. She showed my other partner, and he looked at me, and he goes, dude, what happened? And I thought to myself, you know what? Obviously, the character for somebody like that, it just showed me what kind of a person I was dealing with. But the pain, those things, they stick, and for me, like when I see people like Ezekiel or I see people like VSG Warrior, or see people who are in their journey that are like, they're freaking right, man. They're like saying, okay, I'm about to come out. They're about to come out. I want to come out, and they're actually at that step where they're starting to do it. I get chills thinking of that, because it's so powerful, man. And there's so many people, like, for example, Tanya. And Sarah, was it Sarah, the other Sarah, she ended up hitting her goal recently.
Oregon Sarah.
Lessa Sarah. Oregon Sarah?
Lessa Sarah and Sarah in Oregon.
Yeah, she ended up hitting her goal, and I was thinking to myself, okay, and I'm right there too, man. I've always been, I wanted to be around 220, 225, and I realized I want to be, after being there, I want to go a little bit higher, because I want to look a little more healthy to me. And I just, man, I tell you, I just said to myself, man, it's like, I don't know. What's next, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. What's next? Okay, we did it. Here we are. Now what? Now what are we going to do? What's the next fight? Well, for me, I want more definition. I haven't touched my stomach, so I want to work on my abs. You know what I mean? I want to really hit that diet hard. I want to educate myself in the YouTube bodybuilding community. And most importantly, I want to give back to other people however I can. If it's, 10 or 20 people that are joining, a show, if it's, a bazillion people over national news, honestly, for me, it's just giving back. It could be one person, man. As long as I'm touching people, that's all that I'm trying to do. I want people to know that I care. And there's a lot of people who probably want to know about the bodybuilding piece of it and the lifting and all that. If you ever reach out to me, I will be more than happy to help you with anything. And I will spend the time to tell you. I will actually give you my phone number, and you can call me. If you don't believe me, you can ask some of these guys. You can ask some of the audience, because they'll tell you.
I don't have your telephone number, but I didn't ask.
I'm telling you, man. For me, I just love people. I love people. I love helping people, and I think I feel like that's my calling. You know what I mean? I feel like it's important that we do that because
I think you tell your story by by just doing the video. I think that's really important. I think that's why we love Tanya and Kirk and Sarah and yourself and Khalif, because you guys are honest and tell us exactly what's going on. I mean, I tell my story, but tell us now. You you did have a breaking point. You're not sure what the breaking point was, but really you say that you basically wanted to get into clothes and stuff, right? Is he gone? No, you're there. Okay.
No, I was going to say, yeah, I mean, as far as a breaking point goes, it was, I think, just the ridicule with my kids, with that piece, missing out on that. I mean, not being able to go on roller coaster rides, I mean, work, all that stuff. I mean, there is a lot of, you just miss out on life. And I was tired of missing out on life. And I did say to myself, when I turned 40 years old, I want to be in the best shape of my life. I want to be legit. That's just what I call it, raw, legit. I want to go hard with all of it and be healthy and feel good and look good, and I mean, don't take me wrong, I'm not fooling myself by no means. People can misinterpret that however you want. Dude, my heart is good, but I know the work ethic that I put into all this, and nobody can take that away from me. Shit was taken away from me for so many years, and nobody's taking that away from me now.
You're giving yourself back.
I definitely, yes, I can 100% agree, Rose. 100%.
And that's important. It's very important to give ourselves the time that we need. Some people think that's selfishness, and that is so sad that I have to try and convince people it's not selfishness.
No, it's not.
It's time. It is time to feel worthy and to feel like you can do this.
Completely.
So you're right.
We got a question actually from Ezekiel Goodwin. He said, you've mentioned wreckage a few times. When those memories come up, what do you practice to deal with those moments?
Dude, oh my God. I mean, let me tell you what I do. I mean, even when you ask me that question, it tingles, because when I'm at work or I'm at home, I'm pretty much, this is me. You know what I mean? This is Jmacvsg. This is me. But when I'm at the gym, that's where the wreckage is being used. That's my fuel. I mean, it's fire, dude. When I'm hitting those sets and I'm doing my thing, I mean, we can't go into the weightlifting now. When I'm lifting and I'm trying to hammer those curls and just really, I'm basically beating up those things, because I feel the pain's there. You know what I mean? The pain, and you have to work that. I mean, don't take me wrong. It ain't like I go to the gym and I'm hurt. I just go to the gym and I bump some good music, and I just say, let's go, and turn it on, man. And I use that as my fuel for, becoming what I want. That's probably my biggest driving force. When I'm in there and I can let go of all of that, and actually, I mean, even thinking about it, like I almost want to think about it, because it gets me through the next rep. You know what I mean? When I'm thinking about the pain that somebody had caused me, I mean, dude, that feels good when you're able to hit that rep and just kind of have that, pardon me, but F you attitude towards it. You know what I mean? It's like I don't deserve that. That's definitely not something I'm worthy of. I'm worthy of a lot more than that. So, I mean, that's how I use it, bro. I definitely channel my anger and my hurt in the gym, and outside of the gym, I'm a freaking bear. I just love people. I'm the biggest teddy bear you could possibly think of outside of there. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question. If not, call me, because you got my number.
See, everybody but Rose has it, huh?
That's all right. That's all right. I get the hug when I see him, when I finally meet him.
I got you, girl. I got you.
Okay, so anybody else leave a question? Because you know how bad my phone is.
Yeah, your phone doesn't like us. Well, I have one though. Just with all of your research that you've done, and first looking at what type of surgery you wanted, and I don't know if you did research to pick a doctor in every little step, and even research as far as diet and exercise. What do you do to try to wade through all of the garbage and the bro science and all of the myths and all the fake nonsense that could throw you off? How do you avoid those things so you don't get caught up a year spinning your wheels?
That's another fantastic question, Khalif. So check this out. Prior to, and again, this is no knock on anybody. Again, this is just Jmac being as real as I can be. Prior to having surgery, one of the things I wanted to do is figure out what's the best surgery for me. Initially, I wanted to do the lap band, and after talking, I actually went to about 3 different consultations because I heard different things, and every doctor was telling me not to have the lap band and to do VSG. And I was stuck on the lap band, so I ended up going VSG. It's just the way that it worked for me. I am pro whatever the hell works for you. Listen, you're gonna have people on YouTube. You're gonna have people in the gym, the trainers. You're gonna have a lot of people tell you the right way. For me, like you mentioned, the bro science, which for those of you who don't know, it's basically other people basically saying, hey, this is the right way. You need to do this. You need to do that, right? Your bro. This is your bro saying, hey, no, you need to do this. Is it okay? It's not a bad thing. You need to use these things and figure out, okay, what works for you. If you you're gonna find. I mean, I've had people tell me, do this and do that, and it didn't work for crap. But then there was things that I tried that I was like, holy cow, you know what I mean? This really works. I think again, going back to the collaboration of everybody in the community. I mean, you take it and you see if it works for you, and if it doesn't, then then don't use it. And if it does, then use it to motivate others and tell them, that this worked for me. There's no right or wrong way, man. Like I said, everything is debatable. You can have people tell you this is the right way and that's the right way, but nah, I'm not going to listen to one person the whole way through and say, hey, you're right, because we're all different sizes, we're different ages, and we have different goals, man. You know what I mean? Some people they don't want to get big. Some people they don't want to get lean. Some people want to be skinny. It's all okay. You know what I mean? It's your life, man. But you take it, you learn from it, and you share it. Share whatever you can, and at least that's what I believe. And then you go from there. There's a lot out there.
Okay.
And some of us want to be less curvaceous. Just saying.
Yeah.
Okay, that may be the only one that I have to say that's wrong. I don't know too many debates on that, but yeah.
I know, Khalif, you like the gray dress. I didn't get it.
See, you should have.
Private joke.
Sorry, Sarah.
I actually have a question. Now that you have reached, your weight loss goal, and now you're, getting stronger and stuff, what would be the most rewarding thing on this journey so far? Like, what have you found most rewarding?
Wow. I think it's I think Tanya touched on it on her last video when she said, she had, and again, I don't know if I even responded to Tanya on this one, but she was talking about how she had a talk with her friend, and how one of her old friends, and she said that her friend told her that there was a piece of her that she felt was missing, and that happiness and that spark. Whenever I would look in the mirror, I just didn't like what I saw. I didn't like it, and that hurt. I would actually walk to work, or not walk to work, but walk into the office, and I wouldn't even look in the windows because I didn't want to see what I looked like. That hurts, and now I'm a selfie king. You know what I mean? I take all the selfies. My buddies, they give me so much crap about it because I just like to send them. I send them selfies all the time. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? You know, what's up, bro? Yeah. But you know what? That's my point. It's not that I'm fooling myself, because I'm not, dude. I'm just proud of my efforts, and I got love for my friends. I wouldn't do that with everybody. I mean, I'm not sending Ezekiel pictures of me. Well, maybe. No, but I mean, you know what I'm saying. It's one of those things where I'm just like, to answer your question, my love for life is back, man, and it's freaking awesome. I mean, it is good, and there's not an aspect of my life that's not good. Every aspect of my life right now is freaking on fire, and I'm grateful for it. Very grateful.
Awesome.
Great question.
So you feel like just shouting it to the world, and that's
Dude, I want to scream that shit. Yes, good. Sorry, Cliff. I know this is a family forum. I'm just trying to. I don't want to hold in too much, bro. But yeah.
But I think that's what the videos are about, right? It's about sharing. It's about encouraging. It's about inspiring. It's about doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, giving back, like you say, you want to give back, and people will ask you questions in the comments. I mean, you know, Google has made it almost impossible sometimes for us to send back a comment, because not everybody has got that Google Plus. But anyway, you can give back just by doing your videos.
Yes, I try anyways.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sarah. You asked your question.
No, that's okay. I was just going to make a comment on your answer that I think that's a really great answer, that you have your love of life back, because a lot of people, when they're starting this journey, they don't love life, and maybe they've never loved life. And it's just great hope that, you know, working on that journey, and it's not only the weight loss, but the actual emotional and like spiritual changes that you go through this, that you're able to actually love life maybe for the first time ever. And that's just really great. I really like that answer. So
I appreciate that. I do. And you know, and I will say also, you know, I think a lot of it has to do with my faith. I'm very faith driven. You know, I had made a number of videos prior, and I had my fair share of subscribers, but I deleted all of that because of the workplace. I didn't want people to find out, and I kind of made that decision at that time, to just get rid of all of that and kind of wipe it clean so it would never come out. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm just grateful. My faith in God has got me through so much in life, and I feel like, you know, just giving back in that's kind of my giving glory to Him in a sense. I don't mean to get all spiritual with y'all, but listen, I keep it real. That is exactly probably the biggest piece of how I've been able to achieve all this. I remember going to that surgery and walking up there, and I had my Christian music again, not trying to push anything. I'm very open to just love, man. But I walked in there and I had my music going, and I just was you know, praying the whole way through, because I was scared as all, man. Oh, I was freaked out. It's like, am I going to wake up from this? I mean, I think all of us who had surgery understand that, you know what I mean, or a lot of us do. That was scary times, man. You know, and to wake up from that and give my brother a fist bump, you know, it was a big deal for me. It was very, very special. So yeah.
awesome.
Well, we actually got a question from Walter, VSG Warrior. He says, can you talk a little about how you dealt with loose skin? How soon did you start lifting after surgery?
Oh, man, great question. I know these are all great questions. I'm sorry if you keep hearing me say that, but I think that's one of my biggest, man, if I can say that I'm proud of something along this journey, you know, proud of myself of what I've been able to achieve, that's one of the things, because most people, they can't really see too much of it on me. I have it, don't take me wrong, I do have some loose skin, but it's more so on my stomach area, if anything, and even that, I mean, it's not too bad, but I just got to keep on trying to trim down and make that better. But to answer, and that's my goal for this coming year. hopefully I'll be able to do another interview in a year, and we'll see what happens from there. But anyways, bro, Warrior Walter, what I was gonna tell you is this, dude. Right, for me, it was all cardio. It was all cardio up into I did the whole pre-op. I go cardio the whole way through. Personally, I stay away from the weights. People can say whatever they want. This is, again, going back to bro science, okay? You can hear a lot of things. This is just Jmac's take on it. I would take the cardio piece of it, and I would go hard on the cardio as much as I can, okay? I would stay kind of in that whole mindset without getting too hungry. If you're on a pre-op diet, you probably can't exercise too much because you're probably going to be on just liquids, or depending on how you do it and what your process is, I don't know. But depending on that, you don't want to do too much exercise at all. If you're not at that stage yet, then I would go hard on the cardio. Once you have the surgery, for me, what I did was I would, I think it was like, I want to say, and forgive me because I don't know exact weeks or what have you, but I can tell you it was probably about 5 to 6 weeks out where I would start to kind of walk and do a little bit like decent walks. For me, I like, when I say walk, I mean I probably did about 1.5 miles to 2 miles. Okay, but I'm not saying that for everybody. That's just kind of what I started with, and I got that down and try to get rid of the dizzy spells and all that kind of stuff, because I would get that because you need to be hydrated and get that water in you, etc. And hammer the liquids big time. Powerade Zeros. I don't have any here with me, but Powerade Zeros I love because they keep you hydrated pretty well. And they're big, and you can dump your protein in there. Like there's some, I think Nectar makes a great protein powder that you can put. It's water based. Put it in there. You put it with the Powerade Zero. It's yum. 25 grams of protein, 170 calories or something like that. But anyways, so that's what I would do. I would normally 5 weeks out, 5 to 6 weeks out, maybe even 7 weeks out, I would do cardio. And then my 8th week, I think I started to do some resistance training. So I had very little pain, if any, and I would do very little resistance. So I mean, bands, you do use those bands and kind of work what you can. I don't know if you have a gym membership or not, man, but that's kind of what I didn't really like. If you don't have bands, maybe just use the bar, so you can do the curls. Everything was really light, but and you're always hitting that protein hard. You're always hitting that protein hard. In the weight loss community, man, if there's anything they're going to tell you, it's that. But then, and I don't know what you were trying to, I don't know what your ultimate goal is, but for me, my arms were important because I didn't want the loose skin. And there's not a whole lot there. I mean, my arms, I got a lot of love for my arms. I've had a lot of good compliments and all that, and I feel great about it. And I work them hard, dude. I'll do a lot of the curls. I mean, my routine, we'll take it offline because, like I told Cleve, I don't want to go into too much detail with those. But I will tell you, I will give you my routine. I will give you your own routine, and I won't charge you a damn dime, bro. I'll give you my phone number. I will tell you straight up, what I think is the best thing based off of what your needs are. I'm not a doctor. This is, again, it's bro science saying, hey, take it for what it's worth. If you don't like it, don't use it. But yeah, it's that kind of stuff's work for me. And again, I go hard in the gym. When I'm in there, that's what I do. And I'm not saying everybody should. Everybody has their own needs and wants. And when you first start off, especially, I mean, I don't know that you want it. It may discourage you if you feel really sore and stuff like that. I didn't initially. But eventually I got to the point where I was like, oh, wait a second. That pain that I felt, that anger, this shit feels good. Now I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go hard, and dump it all on the weights. So, yeah, it's pretty cool.
So, next question. How hard do you hit the kitchen? What are we making in the kitchen? What are we eating every day? What's your plan?
Well, I eat a lot of red meat. Eat a lot of white meat. I mean, I'll have like a lot of chicken, but I'll be 100% honest with you, man. I eat a lot of steak. I love steak. I eat a lot of steak and chicken, and I usually have a salad with my meal. Maybe a couple. of these guys, rosemary and oil.
Rosemary's good on everything. Just
That's it.
saying.
That's I'm telling you, in the pico de gallo, if you have some pico de gallo with those things, oh my God! For a lot of you pre-operators who are trying to lose the weight to have surgery, or you just want a snack in your post-op and you want something, pico de gallo with those Triscuits, not just any Triscuits, the rosemary.
Of course. Of
Um,
course.
yeah, those are solid. Those are really good. So yeah, I mean I eat a lot of. I mean, listen, I do. Is it good, bad? You know, listen, you guys can say, people can say whatever they want. For me, it's worked for me. I feel great, feel good, and it's helped me become a lot stronger in the person I want to be.
So we're eating this for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
No.
What's the plan?
No.
What's the usual thing you do? Because I know people are asking this.
Oh,
That's what
okay.
I'm
So,
asking.
okay, I don't see the questions. I don't see them how they're writing them. Okay, so like for breakfast, I'll get up and I'll probably have a cup of coffee. I'll have a cup of coffee. Yeah, people could say yes, no. Decaf, yeah, I try to have decaf on occasion. I know caffeine isn't the greatest thing for us, but I have it. So I'll get me a cup of coffee, and then for maybe like an hour later, after I have my cup of coffee, I'll have 2 Quest bars, which is about 170 each, so about 340 calories. And then so I'll have that for breakfast. That's kind of like my breakfast. And then for lunch, I'll go out. Usually have like a chicken salad. A couple different places down the street that I like to eat at. Or I'll just bring in a piece of chicken with some I like cheese and nuts too. So and cheese and Triscuits I love as well. But I like to have a good salad with chicken. You know, stuff like that I like to have. And every once in a while I'll sneak in another Quest bar just because I like the protein in it.
You and them Quest bars.
I know.
I
And
don't
you know,
want to talk about the Quest bars.
I know. But and then later on at night I will hammer a piece of steak, but it's not like a whole steak. So if you go to the store and you buy a piece of steak, I end up having half the steak, cut it in half, and then I have some salad with it. So I don't go too heavy on the dressing or anything like that. Then I'll get some Triscuits and some pico de gallo or a little bit of cheese, chop that up, and then I'll get some of these nuts, pull some nut mix. I'm all over these things. I don't go too crazy on them, but for dinner I like to have maybe like a half handful of them or something like that. And then, you know, I'm a human being. You know, at nighttime I'll have and I maybe twice a week I'll have some popcorn, which I know is kind of like it's what a lot of people get in trouble with. But I usually have popcorn, and there's like a pub mix that we have as well. So I'll kind of mix the two and have a little bit. But I don't go crazy on it. You know, I mean I can, but I don't. And yeah, that's kind of the routine what I will normally have.
And basically, because you're doing the pumping iron and all that, you're going to be more hungry.
Yes.
So I can see you wanting something at night.
Yes, and I know, like my doctor told me initially, you know, when this, and a lot of you guys who are out there who are having surgery or have had surgery, you know, they say eat your 3 meals, right? And I'm not telling you to not do that. What I'm saying, and trust me, I haven't fallen into this trap. I know exactly where I am, but for me, because of what I'm doing, I do need some extra food. Now, it's not popcorn. I'm not saying popcorn is what I need. You know, that's not the better thing to have. Greek yogurt is another thing that I have when I'm pretty hungry at night. I'll have some of that, or if I want to have a protein shake, I'll have that. I won't have all of it, but I'll have either a protein shake, some yogurt, some popcorn, one or the other, as an option. If I'm not lifting, I don't usually have that craving. I know the habit is to have those things at night because you're used to having them, but no, I usually do pretty good with all that. So, does that answer your question at all?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
All right, I have a question. When you talked about one of the big motivations for you being, you know, the fact that you couldn't always participate in things with your kids, you know, you didn't want to embarrass them or, you know, have people pick on them and things like that. What has been their response to your transformation and everything that you've gone through?
Oh, my kids, they love dad regardless. I mean, I thought it would have affected them a lot more. And I know they inside, I'm guessing they're probably like, wow. I mean, they tell me, like my daughter would come over and she'd be like, Dad, oh my God, like she was really proud of me. But I'm still dad, man. I mean, I'm with my kids. I've always been that same person. It's when you're out in the world and people are cruel. You know what I mean? And it's you're dealing with those things. I mean, I used to when I would fly out to visit my customers. I traveled fairly often, so when I would visit my customers, I had my belt extension, and when I didn't fly Southwest, I was afraid because I had the belt extender for Southwest only. So I was afraid. I'm like, am I going to get kicked off this flight? Like all those kind of things. You're just like, I mean, those are things people just don't realize that we deal with. And people we can put the smiles on and all that, but deep inside, I mean, there's some shit lingering. And I know, like with Easy and BSG, Warrior and stuff like that. I just can't wait to see their fight. You know what? Like Corey Cook is another guy I enjoy watching his videos. I don't send too much to him.
He's in the house too. He's in the house too.
Dude, Corey Cook. Dude, listen, bro. Let me just tell you something real quick. You are so honest. When you talk about I haven't been in the gym and I have you talk about how you're on the road a lot and how you put on a little bit of here and there, and you're trying to fight back and come down, and there's weeks where you're able to, weeks where you weren't. Dude, I'm telling you, that I feel like it just touches me whenever I see your videos, and you're so honest about it. Kirk is the same way. I love watching Kirk because of the honesty involved. I know
Corey's asked you a question. He's asking, is there anything that you would change along your journey?
Khalif, I think, asked me that question too. Dude, there's nothing. I can't think of one thing that I would have done differently. I think for a lot of people who are out there and who are about to have surgery, or who just had surgery, or are thinking about getting into the weights, or even they've had surgery a while ago and they're getting into weights. Don't be afraid, man. I mean, I think, I was really intimidated by going down there, and going down at my gym. I was upstairs on the elliptical all the time, and then I finally made the decision to go down there and start lifting, and then it just turned on. You don't have to be a big bodybuilder or anybody who gets too heavy into it, but I mean, find a way. Corey, when you're on the road, bro, and I know you're on the road a lot. Find a way to get it in, man. I mean, you just got to find a way to get it in. You'll feel so good when you do, and it doesn't mean you have to go, hit 100 pounds of weight and you don't have to do all that. Just get something where you say, you know what, I worked out today and it felt good. See how it feels. Hopefully it'll feel good. If it does, Khalif, am I wrong? I mean, you're going to feel pretty good when you get a good lift in, or you do something that gets you moving the whole, kinetic piece of your body and that whole side of things. I mean, you just feel good, right?
Yeah, kind of adds a spark.
Yes.
I think the hardest thing is to do it. Is to actually say you're going to do it today. You're going to go put your tennies on. You're going to go take that walk, or you're going to go to the gym. The hardest thing is just getting out there and starting it, and the rest is easy.
Yeah, I agree, and I think a lot of it, like with the mental piece. I mean, again, that's why I didn't want to talk about like the lifting today, and I told that to Khalif. For me, that wasn't the bigger piece of this journey. It's really emotional, mental. That piece of it is so darn deep, man. And these guys, everybody needs to understand that. That's a big part of all this, man. I mean, you go through some heavy stuff, and you figure out a lot of different things, relationships, in all places, at home, at work, You really have to figure out, you know, a lot of different things, and that's not an easy process because there's a lot involved with all of it, you know. So yeah, hopefully that answered your question.
I was just wondering, like you said that one of the main things you wanted to get healthy for was so you were able to go out and do things with your kids and go on field trips and stuff. Now, have you been able to go ahead and do that? And what was it like to be able to go and do that and not be worried about your appearance or your kids getting teased?
Well, my son's a little bit older now. He's now a sophomore. So I don't usually have the field trips anymore with him. I missed out on that. But like now to ride a roller coaster with my son, we did that last I think it was like around Halloween or something like that. Oh my God! I mean, it's one thing to ride it, and he never rode in a roller coaster. So it was so special. It was super special to be able to do that with him, and I actually took a picture with him during that time because I just wanted to cherish that forever. It's a great question. Yeah, it's very, very. I'm a sentimental guy, man. So yeah, my kids and the love I have just for people in general. It's kind of scary because I put myself in a position where I'm very vulnerable. I got a lot of trust in people that sometimes you get burned, but it's worth it. You know what I mean? In the end, it is worth it for me. So whether I get burned a bazillion times or not, I'm going to do it. Part of it is my faith. You know what I mean? I'm kind of compelled to do that, but.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, we don't have any last-minute questions, or if we do, they didn't come up yet.
Well, Tanya says that she's the queen of the selfies. I'm just saying it out loud.
Oh, no, you're not. Well, queen, okay. I'm the king.
Yeah. Okay. Are you saying you're the queen, too?
Hey, you never know.
Hey.
You know what? I was just going to say really quick. The accountability is important. A lot of us, you know, we do take the picture and we put it on Facebook. And I've had others that, you know, that are not really friends that say, oh, you're just trying to be all that in a bag of chips. And what are you trying to say? And I'm like, you know what? This is to encourage the person that thought that it wasn't possible. You know, I don't do anything that you can't do. I mean, Connie and I go and do our 4 miles, 6 miles, 10 miles, whatever we're doing that day. It's nothing you can't do. It's the same thing with you. It's nothing that anybody can't do. It's the point. The point is to do it. And accountability is a great way of encouraging others. By you taking the picture, saying that you did it today, gives you something to do tomorrow. I did it today. It gives you that satisfaction. I did it today. And then tomorrow you take another picture and you say, I did it today too.
Exactly.
You know, it could be 3 times a week, 5 times a week, you know, whatever it is. But you feel satisfied. And I don't think it's terrible to do selfies. I'm just throwing that out there because this week happened to be one of them weeks that you get somebody that says something to you and you just got to go, oh, that's not what I don't believe in that. I do not believe in that. So if you ever get that person that's tapping you on the shoulder and saying you're doing a little too many selfies, you think about that. Think about how you just encourage yourself to get out there by taking that selfie. Just saying.
I appreciate that.
It's just a mama's pat.
I love it.
All right, so Jessie, what as we do every time we have a guest on, just give us like the one thing you want people to take away from your story, your journey, and you know what's the one message?
One message. This is really, really honest and heartfelt, man. If there's one message I give to everybody out there, pre-op, post-op, whatever op, no surgery, whatever the case may be, young, old, middle-aged, gay, straight, black, white, whatever it may be, man, woman, you fight. You go as hard as you can to be the best you can be. And I'm not saying you go hard in the sense of lifting 500 pounds. I'm not saying you run a 5:55 mile. I'm saying find it within yourself to do your best, whatever that is. You know, if you're 400 pounds, 500 pounds, what is your best? You know, I was 360 pounds and I ran 11.2 miles. You know, I found my best. My body stopped. And I say to everybody, find your best, you know, whatever it may be. It could be a quarter of a mile. If that's your best, that's freaking awesome, and celebrate it. Be happy in that. Be proud of that. Love that. You know, go back, tell your husband, hey, you know what, I did this. You know what I mean? Motivate others. And man, just enjoy life. Life is short, man. Take it, run with it, and enjoy it. It's good. Life is good now. And hit me up if you have any questions. Man, please don't hesitate. I'll give you my number. Honestly, man, I'm open like that. I got straight love. I'm a fool though, so whatever.
I love that. I love the quote. Go out
Yeah.
and be the best you that you can be, and forget about the rest. That's what I always say.
That's right.
But yeah, man, just thanks for coming on. Thanks for, you know, just being open, honest, and just sharing with us, you know, everything about your journey and the struggles you've gone through. You know, it was great hearing from you, great having you and interacting with you.
Well, I appreciate it, Khalif. And you know, I'll say just lastly, I think all of you on the panel and everybody who's watching, and you know, and those of you who watch this show or end up finding the show one day, you know, years down the road, you know, the Renew Show and the people in this community are great contributors to making lives better. We all struggle with food. We all struggle with a lot of things in life. And if we can just work together in a positive way and help each other, then we're doing something right in this world. So whatever that's worth.
Yeah. Yeah, next week is going to be the end of the third season, and we're actually going to be talking about you know, breaking points, and not just saying, well, this was our breaking point, but really, how do you find it? How do you get to the point where you get tired of making the excuses and just say, today is the day that I start? So we're going to be talking about that. So hopefully you guys will join us, share what you've gone through, things that you've done to motivate yourself. You know, how you've been able to stop going through the cycle of starting and stopping, starting and stopping. You know, share that with us. We're going to have a few people on, so it's going to be a great show. May actually be an hour and a half. Everybody asked for that because the hour goes so fast, so we'll check with everybody's schedule and see if we can make that happen. But hopefully we'll see you all there. If you have anything you want us to talk about directly, just send us an email, check the description box, and you'll find a link to send us an email. You'll find a link to Jessie's channel, as well as Sarah's channel and Rose's channel, and I guess I should put mine in there too. And just interact with us during the week. All right, guys, have a good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Yeah.